At 0517 local time, the USS Gravely's forward gun mount jolts to life. Steel grinds. On deck, soldiers freeze. Across the Caribbean, the destroyer's combat network crackles. One phrase cuts the static. Condition 3 set. Man all key stations. No explanation is needed. 3 unidentified surface contacts are closing fast from the southwest, a clear show of military power. Their formation tightens. On the tactical screen, call signs pulse. Cerro 1, 2, and 3. A classic military strategy. Flag of origin, Venezuela. On the bridge, the captain's voice remains low and steady. This is modern warfare. He doesn't need to. The order cascades through the ship. Magazines unlocked, safeties off, helmets on. The troops are ready. Below, the Combat Information Center tracks targets closing at 28 knots, bearing 243, and they are converging. The destroyer's 5-inch gun shifts. A silent message. No shots fired. A voice from CIC. Visual confirmation negative, sir. Low profiles. Likely fast patrol boats. The Venezuelan Navy is running light. No heavy signatures. Just speed and raw intent. They know the rules of engagement. Pushing the line, never crossing it. The Gravely's electronic warfare suite awakens with a hum. Its sensors sweep the spectrum. Every ping, every emission, captured. This is the reality of intelligence in a global conflict. On deck, sailors scan the pre-dawn horizon. No distinct shapes, just streaks of motion against dark water. A sign of the coming war. They have drilled this scenario, but never with Caracas, this volatile, never this close to the line. The order is not standby, it is show presence. The ops officer leans into the display. Contacts inside 12 nautical miles, closing. Recommend we designate hostile intent, pending ID. Copy that, the captain responds. Bridge, maintain course. Weapons, stand ready. Hold your fire. A critical defense decision. In the main deck corridor, sailors secure their stations. At the 5-inch gun, loaders check the shell feeds for these modern weapons. CIWS crews power their radar-guided guns. The phalanx turret spins, its hydraulic drive whining, a core part of the ship's defense systems. The whine cuts through steel bulkheads. Every ship in the U.S. Navy trains for this drill, a fast approach. It usually ends with laughter, but drills don't carry national flags. A new military update crackles over the net. Bridge, CIC. Contacts accelerating, 29 knots. Understood. Mark CPA at 4.6 nautical miles. Plot intercept vectors. The helmsman holds the destroyer's heading steady. He keeps her inside international waters. The margin? Less than 3 miles. Any deviation becomes provocation. This is the new warfare. On the bridge, binoculars scan the horizon. Still nothing. But the bearing is unmistakable. The Venezuelan boats aim for the Gravely's beam. It's a clear message. We see you, and we are not backing off. The captain hits the intercom. Engineering, maintain full power on the turbines. We may need to maneuver. The tone is final. This is not a drill. The USS Gravely is here for a very specific purpose. For 2 months, U.S. destroyers and cutters have patrolled this region. The mission, Operation Sentinel South, a joint military operation. A joint mission to sever smuggling routes from Venezuela. Officially, it is maritime security. A war analysis shows a deeper goal. In practice, it's a clear message. Washington is watching. Just 4 days prior, U.S. Navy helicopters intercepted 2 speedboats. They were suspected of running weapons and narcotics to Curaçao. One was sunk after ignoring warnings. Caracas called it an act of aggression. The Pentagon called it maritime law enforcement. Now, Venezuela's Navy is responding, testing the line between defense and provocation. The USS Gravely, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, represents the peak of defense technology. At 155 meters, its SPY-1D radar tracks over 100 targets, while its Aegis combat system links to Allied aircraft. A network of advanced defense technology. This immense power makes the situation volatile. A single miscalculation could trigger a vertical escalation. The patrol craft are likely Guy Carey class, fast, lightly armed, perfect for aggressive harassment missions. Their purpose isn't to win a fight, but to provoke one. Inside the U.S. Southern Command's war analysis, these gray zone encounters are called controlled friction. A political game right up to the moment this global conflict turns hot. For the Navy sailors aboard the Gravely, none of that matters. The politics are 1,000 miles distant. The threat is less than 10 miles out. Every critical system on the Gravely is online. On the foredeck, the 5-inch, 62 caliber Mark 45 gun hums, one of its primary modern weapons. Its barrel is locked southwest. It fires 70-pound shells over 13 nautical miles, precise enough to obliterate a speedboat. A testament to U.S. military power. Aft, the Mark 15 Phalanx close-in weapon system, the CIWS, spins its 6-barrel Gatling gun, a key part of the ship's defense. Ready to unleash 4,500 rounds a minute, the last line of defense, engineered to shred incoming missiles into a cloud of metal dust. The troops call it angry steel. Now, it's one bad decision from speaking. Inside the combat center, the Aegis system fuses radar data. Sonar returns and electronic intercepts into one coherent digital picture. Every sailor sees the same intel: contact bearings, range, vector, and speed. The ship's SLQ-32V3 suite listens passively for enemy radar, hunting the telltale pulse of a targeting lock. So far, silence. Then, the eye in the sky. An MH-60R Seahawk, the Navy's versatile multi-mission helicopter. The crew calls it Romeo. It hunts submarines, scans surface ships, and deploys sonar buoys. It is the ship's overwatch and early warning in one package. The flight deck crew gets the order to prep for launch. Rotor blades unfold, tie-down chains are released. Every motion is calm, rehearsed, practiced 100 times. But there is no doubt. The entire ship is one command from a war footing, and everyone aboard knows it. At 0519, the Seahawk lifts, its twin engines tearing through the morning haze. Call sign, Razor 2-1. The mission, eyes on, weapons cold. Banking south, the Hilo sensor pod acquires the Venezuelan patrol boats, a key military strategy. 3 contacts, small, fast, moving in a loose V formation. Their wakes slice the water like white scars. Engines churning near maximum. From altitude, the crew makes out key details: the national flag, the sensor mast, even individual crew on deck. The lead vessel mounts a cylindrical structure aft of its bridge, probably a navigation radar or optical sensor. No visible deck-mounted weapons, but that means nothing. Razor 2-1 to Gravely, the call crackles. Visual confirmed on 3 hulls. Formation steady. Speed 2 to 8 knots. Copy that. 2-1. Maintain observation. The Seahawk's MX-20 turret flips to thermal imaging. Inside, the sensor operator tracks glowing white silhouettes. 3 men at the helm, 2 midship, 1 aft. All eyes on the destroyer. Below, the Gravely holds its course. The ship's SPY-1D radar tracks the boats with centimeter accuracy, but the crew does not lock on. That would escalate from defensive to provocative. The message is posture. The Romeo circles wide, a silent warning. The U.S. Navy has eyes everywhere, a display of military power. For now, it is a standoff, one that tightens with every passing second. By 0522, the range is 5 nautical miles, close enough for the Venezuelan troops to read the Gravely's hull number. Painted white on gray steel, close enough for every sailor on the destroyer to feel the tension coiling in their gut. This is modern warfare. The bridge breaks the silence. Venezuelan naval vessels. This is a United States warship conducting operations in international waters. You are closing distance at high speed. Alter course immediately. The transmission broadcasts first in English, then in Spanish. Silence hangs in the air. Seconds crawl by. Then, a voice from the CIC. The watch officer reports, lead vessel accelerating 29 knots, closing to 4.8 miles. The captain's tone remains steady. Set a visible defense posture. All topside systems in sightline, no targeting radars active. On deck, the phalanx CIWS turrets shift, their barrels glinting in the rising light. The 5-inch gun locks its traverse. From the Venezuelan helmsman's perspective, the message is unmistakable. We see you. Do not force our hand. A reply finally crackles through the comms. A thick accent, a tense delivery. This is a Venezuelan Navy patrol vessel. You are operating near our territorial waters. Identify your mission. The bridge response is immediate. Venezuelan Navy vessels. This is USS Gravely. We are conducting legal operations in international waters. Maintain safe separation. The boats slow, from 28 knots to 20, but hold formation. Now shadowing the destroyer's starboard beam at 3.6 nautical miles. It is a measured, deliberate dance, dangerously close to the edge. Every sailor aboard knows the unspoken rule of modern warfare. It is easier to start a war than to explain one. That is why the rules of engagement, the ROE, are seared into every commander's mind. Under U.S. Navy doctrine, force is authorized only in the face of a demonstrable hostile act or clear hostile intent. A fast approach does not qualify. Even a radar lock-on might not, unless paired with a signature from their modern weapons. So the Gravely holds steady. Her radar tracks, her cameras roll, but her missile cells stay sealed. The complication is geography. The destroyer is 14 nautical miles off the Venezuelan coast, international waters, but close enough for political theater. Venezuela claims extended jurisdiction. Under its Bolivarian security zone, a unilateral policy the U.S. military has never recognized. This is why these shadow runs occur. Both sides act within their perceived rights, both knowing it is a matter of interpretation. Legally, the Gravely is in the clear. The crew simply wants to avoid becoming tomorrow's military news. If one sailor makes the wrong call, misreads a radar spike, or flinches on a camera feed, this patrol becomes a global conflict in under 10 seconds. This is the paradox of deterrence and military power. You show strength by not using it. Right now, restraint is the most critical component of this military strategy. By 0534, the Venezuelan patrol boats begin a slow turn east. No radio call, no acknowledgement, just a quiet withdrawal that says, "We have made our point." The USS Gravely maintains course and speed, logging every second of the encounter for war analysis. Radar tracks, communication attempts, power levels, even the gun barrel temperatures, everything is filed and sent to U.S. Southern Command. Before sunrise, the Seahawk, a key asset of the Navy, lingers overhead, circling one last time before returning to the deck. Its sensors capture the boat's rejoining formation, moving parallel to the coast at reduced speed. In Washington, analysts will dissect this military update frame by frame. Was it a test of response time, a political signal, or just a flex after a week of U.S. anti-smuggling operations that embarrassed Caracas? For the troops on the Gravely, none of that matters. They executed their mission, followed the rules, and prevented a standoff from going kinetic. But every commander in the Caribbean understands the truth. This was a warning shot, a test of defense, made of motion, not of fire. The next time those boats materialize on radar, they may not turn away. This was not a random attack. It was no simple accident. It was a message, calculated, deliberate, a clear signal of military power. A Venezuelan Navy patrol doesn't simply wander into a destroyer's path by chance. Out here, every move is a signal, and every response, a counter. Or inaction, rewrites the balance of power. Next time, the approach gets closer. The first side to blink could ignite a global conflict. Or this quiet chess match of military strategy finally erupts into open war. The question is now yours. You're in command of the Gravely. Do you hold fire, or do you answer with force? Post your war analysis in the comments. I want to see your tactical calls. And if you want to go a step further and directly support our operations, enlist in the fleet. You'll receive service ribbons, priority comms, and help us declassify more of these critical military news reports. return to our main channel page and click Join to come aboard. And remember, a near miss sharpens the focus of any defense system. Fair winds, soldiers. We'll debrief on the next military update.